In this video, I'm taking a look inside my compressor to see if it's worth keeping. I'm Steve and welcome to my channel. I may have found something that's causing a contamination. These two cylinders have the input through these two holes. So when I took this cover off, that's the cover, and inside there's just a bit of foam rubber. Now when I took this off, the foam rubber had been sucked into the inlet hole going into the cylinder head. So, and it's all dirty and dusty, so it may have been breaking down and getting into the airline, and this is very light material, and that would float around in the air. So now I'm going to take off the other cover and see what's under that one. Right, oh, I can see the foam in the hole. So now I've got to try to get this out without it breaking in half. Ah, see, yes, this is all breaking down. Wow, look at that. So that didn't do the valves any good. I reckon that must have been touching on the little valves inside. So what I've decided to do is take this cylinder head off and have a look at the valves, and it should come off. Oh, that wasn't very tight actually. Okay. That's not copper, that's a fibre gasket there, so that should seal okay. Oh, I see, there's a pancake set up here, and the valves are inside there. Okay. Ooh. Right. That's really in there. Oops, it's gone. Don't know where it's gone, but it's gone. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that is. Can you see that? Yeah. That is a piece of wire from a wire brush from electric drill. That's what it looks like. How it got in there, I don't know. This compressor gasket may be a problem. This is special gasket. It's graphite impregnated to cope with the heat that is generated by a compressor. I've got some, but I think it's much too thick. Right, I've cleaned all the components up, it's all nice and clean, and I just used ordinary thinners with a toothbrush and it got all the dirt off. And this gasket's no good because it was damaged when I split the two halves. And I have got some 1/2 mil gasket material here, but I've only got enough to do one head, so it is very, very old, so and it's gone a bit hard and brittle. So I've ordered some 1/2 mil gasket material. So how does it work? Well, this is the inlet valve and this is the outlet valve. This is open to the air, where the air comes in, and this is where the air goes out to the tank. So as the piston goes down, got to remember this is upside down. As the piston goes down, it opens this, that moves up and it opens it and draws air in, and at the same time it closes this one because you don't want the compressed air to escape. And then as the piston goes up, this one closes and that one opens, and that's how it works. Well, it's not good news. I took the cylinder head off and then I noticed there's lots of oil in there, and I've cleaned it all off, but then I've turned it over a few times and there's oil coming just by turning it by hand. So I'm going to take this cylinder off of the crankcase, and I may be able to lap the bore and get some new piston rings. That's the plan, but we'll see what happens. Right, I finally got to the bottom of this. This bore is 60mm. So I've set my mic to 60mm, locked it off, and I set this comparator so it goes round to 0 when it's 60mm. And when I measure this, this is an imperial clock, so this is inches. So the worst place on this cylinder is 3.5 thou, and the funny thing is, on the other cylinder I haven't taken off yet, which was the dry one, that is worse. That is 5.5 thou. So that works out that this one is 0.089 and the other one is 0.139. So I've got to decide now whether to repair this compressor, or it may be not worth it. I might have to buy another compressor. Well, I've been looking on the internet. I've probably spent a whole day looking on the internet to get some piston rings for this, and it's very difficult. I did find a couple of companies, but they're in Europe, and I'm not going to buy parts from Europe because the import tax is going to be too much for little things like this, and it's just not worth it. And then even if I did get new rings, this hasn't been rebored, so the chances are it's not going to solve the problem. So I've made the decision to buy a new compressor. So what I'm going to do today is put all this back together. I will break the glaze in here. I haven't got one of those glaze buster things. I'm just going to do it with some fine wet and dry. I've got some gasket material, so I'm going to make the gaskets for this and make gaskets to replace these as well. I can hear them going up and down, so I know that's fine, and it's all sandwiched up nice. So now I've got to make one of these gaskets. The only problem is these are 1mm gaskets, and my gasket material is 1/2 mm. So if I use a 1/2 mm, that means that this will drop down and the piston will be too high. So it could, I don't know if it would, but it could hit the head. So I'm going to make two of these. I found this grease. It's an anti-seize grease, and the reason I'm using it is because it's white. So I'm going to put a layer of this grease all the way over here and just make an imprint on here. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, I can cut that out. Right, I've done these 2 gaskets now, and I just thought I'd measure it, and yeah, it's exactly 1mm. So my next task is to get rid of the glaze in this bore, and for that I've got a piece of 240 wet and dry. So I'm just going to rough the bore up basically. Don't know if it'll make it better or make it worse, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that's all done. I've got all the scratches out. Maybe I could have used a bit of a coarser wet and dry, but I won't be keeping this compressor anyway, so I'm just putting it back together. Right, I'm ready to fit. So on the bottom of here there is a nice chamfer, so I'll put some oil around there, and I might be able to just get this in by hand without putting a ring compressor on there. That's it, that's got it in. Okay, I just put weld seal on there. Hopefully that will hold it in place. I don't think it's going to hold, so I'm going to just put it on like this. Ah, that's okay, that's fine. That's nice and tight. So that's all done, ready to turn on. It's late in the day. I'm not going to pump this up now. So the next time I'm in the garage, I will turn it on at the beginning of the day. Now, in case you're wondering what this is my original compressor years and years ago, and this is almost as noisy as this one. So I made a soundproof box and I insulated that box with rock wool. So as you can imagine, the heat had nowhere to go, and I didn't realise how hot these get, and it only lasted a few months after I made that box, because it overheated and it cooked the piston, and now it's just pumping out oil much more than this one. So it's just been sitting here for years doing nothing. In case I have any air tools, or maybe I could use it for that. So that's what this is. Right, I'm back in the workshop. So now I'm just going to turn it on for the first time and pump it up. So I decided there was nothing I could do with that compressor, so I made a decision to buy a new one, and that's what this is.
So the next video is going to be a review of this compressor.